Hello guys and welcome back to Married at First Sight Australia. I know it's been a hot minute since our last video, but we are back and we are going to be reviewing the rest of the series. We've got some awesome episodes coming up, but first of all, we have the dinner party that came directly after feedback week. Now, Lauren still is not here. She's still recovering from her surgery, so unfortunately we have her missing, but everybody else is here. And my god, the amount of drama going on around this table is unrivaled. So, without much further ado, let's get into the video. So, the first thing I want to talk about is Andrea and Richard and the sort of decimation of their relationship. It really does seem like it's the end of the road for them. I don't think they're going to make it past the next commitment ceremony. I just think they're having a really tough time of it. And I think it all comes down to Andrea just not willing to let go of things that have happened in the past. Not necessarily in the past, but like in this, ceremony, not ceremony, what's the word I'm looking for? Experiment so far. They had a massive argument before the dinner party even started, and she just keeps on bringing up incidences that happened weeks and weeks ago that we've seen Richard apologize for and attempt to be better from. And it just feels like she's still bringing up these historic details as a reason not to trust him. And it is starting to become a little bit ridiculous, in my opinion. It's just starting to feel a little bit like she's finding any excuse to get rid of him. Which is a real shame, I think, in my opinion. I don't think that he's that bad. And he's gotten to a point where he is genuinely broken and he feels like there's absolutely nothing he can do because she's already made her mind up. She's already got one foot out the door. And then, obviously, he does this thing where he keeps on bringing up her past relationships and how she's not willing to love him or trust him because of things that have happened before. I think that's a kind of not insincere, what's the word I'm looking for? Ingenuine, I don't know. It's just not a very good reason to not trust someone like that. I think it's a bit of a cop-out personally. But also, she then starts being like, yeah, you're worse than my last relationship at the moment. And considering what we've heard from her last relationship, I can understand why this was triggering and very unsettling for Richard, because how are you saying that I am worse than a gaslighter? And it does feel he called her a gaslighter and she got very angry, and I personally feel like there is an element of gaslighting here. It's not necessarily malicious, but I think it's a sense of like the fact that she keeps on she keeps on beating him down, and making him feel like he's not good enough for her. That's just not great, personally. That's just how I feel about the situation. It's not great, it's not ideal, and yeah, no, I'm sorry. Andrea, you're not in my good books at the moment. Because when you came to the dinner party, you obviously arrived separately, and it seems like everyone took her side very quickly, but obviously Richard has just got this sadness about him, and they aired their frustrations out at the dinner table, which, oh, we've gone into Canada apparently. That's not great. Back to Married at First Sight. It's not ideal when you have someone being genuinely upset and airing your frustrations at the dinner table. He keeps on blaming her past traumas, and I sit there like, it's probably not wise to keep on bringing that up because they are traumatic. Then they're not going to sort of have fond memories. She's not going to have fond memories of them. So just focus on your relationship. Don't keep bringing up the previous ones. It seemed like it had an amicable resolution. She hit the table at one point and got really angry, and I was like, oh, okay. I like how no one called her out for that, but they called Timothy out for it. So I'm not gonna get too far into that. But I don't know. I'm really struggling to like Andrew at the moment. Like Richard's always been one of those people that I'm like, I can take him or I can leave him. But I've always really liked Andrea. But like now I'm not really enjoying her currently. I think that this whole situation has kind of put her in a different place in my mind, and I'm not liking what I'm seeing currently. So we are going to talk about the bullshit investigators and Timothy and Lucinda exposing themselves as the perpetrators of the letter that Tori and Jack received. I gotta say, it was really, really funny, because when it was just them and a couple of the other couples in the room, they did kind of reveal that it was them, but they wanted everyone to keep it quiet so they could reveal it at the dinner table. But then Jack and Tori came in. They kind of knew it was Timothy and Lucinda. Tori keeps on saying this one line that I really just don't get, and it's the whole sort of like, oh, I can't believe Lucinda's drinking the Timothy Kool-Aid. And it's like, obviously the etymology of Kool-Aid comes from the Jonestown massacre, in which like a cult made his followers drink Kool-Aid that was poisoned, and they all died. But even so, I don't feel like that applies to Timothy. I don't feel like he's this nefarious person who's trying to lure everyone in and make him see how wonderful he is. He's not like that. I don't think he gives two fucks whether you like him or not, and he makes that very, very clear. And so I feel like Tori's just trying to make problems in other people's relationships to avoid looking at her own. Because Lucinda obviously starts it off. She goes, guys, just got to talk about this thing that I did. And me and Tim, we definitely both decided that this was the best way forward. We just wanted to see how you'd react to some brutal, honest, anonymous feedback. And clearly you haven't taken it very well, but yeah. Lucinda's an absolute gemstone. I love Lucinda. Lucinda is categorically one of my favourite people on this show. Categorically, I love her. But obviously, Tori takes an issue of that. She said something along the lines of, we have a very strong sexual connection. Which, bullshit, first of all. You haven't even slept together, so how do you know if you have a strong sexual connection? Secondly, she was like, I'm not going to be calling the ex like you suggested us. Why would we do that? And then, obviously, everyone's like, well, can you see how it looks? Can you see how it looks? And Tori's like, I don't care how it looks. And she's just getting arsey and just rude. And she's just not being very nice to anybody around the table. Like, everyone is kind of on her side, but can't be on her side when she's fighting so hard against it. It is frustrating. It is annoying. There's not really much you can do, but it is what it is. There's not really much else to say. Because a bomb got dropped. Yeah. Ooh. Yeah, so we had the whole Lucinda and Timothy debacle. And then obviously Jade was like, so we obviously went on a lunch together, me and Jack. And I asked Jack, plain and simply, if you were with someone that you had a better sexual connection with, would you have slept with them by now? And he said, yes, I'd have slept with them if they were more my type. Oh, Jack. If you are going to keep up this pretense that you are into Tori, you're going to keep on saying you're really attracted to her, you're going to say all of this, X, Y, Z, why are you telling people in the experiment the opposite? That's so ridiculous. I'm sorry, because then Timothy's obviously jumping in and being like, yeah, see, I knew you didn't like her. And then Jack's just getting really pissed off and angry at Timothy for no reason. Well, actually, I mean, Timothy was trying to stir the pot a little bit. But even so, Tori's just sort of being like, I don't need you to be hurt for me. Because I can't remember who it was. Somebody said, oh, I'm feeling really hurt for you right now. And she was like, I don't need you to be hurt for me. It just... Tori confuses me because her whole sort of demeanour gives me, yeah, I don't give two fucks. Yeah, I don't care. Yeah, it's fine. Yeah, I don't care. Yeah, I don't care. But actually, I feel like deep down she really does care, and she's kind of just burying her head in the sand because she doesn't want to admit how much of a farce her relationship is. Because how are you telling me that we are now, what, week 9 in the experiment, I think, and they haven't slept together, despite every other couple apart from Lucinda and Timothy having slept together, and the fact that they are also saying that we have this fantastic connection. We're such sexual beings. We have a good sexual connection. You haven't even slept together. The only reason why I'm letting Lucinda and Timothy get away with it is because it's taken them time to get to this place. I don't know if it's going to happen. If it doesn't, it is where it is. But they have a genuinely good connection. I don't see that with Tori and Jack. I don't see it. I don't see the connection. I just don't. I'm sorry. I'm not drinking the Jack Kool-Aid, as Tori might say. So, one of the issues I had with this dinner party, whatever, was the whole anti-Sarah kind of stance that everyone took. Everyone is really, really firmly believing that Sarah is taking Tim for a ride. And I just don't see it like that. I don't personally. Yeah, what she did was wrong. We don't really know the full extent of what happened. But, like, that was dealt with last week. And bringing it back up this week just felt like flogging a dead horse. It didn't really feel like there was anything new that came out. And I was actually impressed with Sarah for actually keeping her cool and not getting pissed off. Because Jaden was just going in on one. And I don't really like Jaden at the moment. I think Jaden's really nasty. I think he's got a real mean streak, a bone to pick with Sarah, whatever her name is. And I'm just kind of exhausted with it at the moment. I don't really see what's happening. And as we can see in the next episode, him and Eden aren't the golden couple that they've been making out to be. So I wonder what happens there. Yeah, I don't know. The whole Sarah and Tim thing, I wanna buy into it, and I want to believe that it is going to be good and it's going to be happy and it's going to be fine. But I am just concerned that it's not going to end up like that and it is just going to be a little bit problematic. It is what it is. There's not really much you can do, but we're going to have to move on now. So our final thing to talk about in this episode is going to be Lucinda and Timothy and their growing relationship. Lucinda and Timothy have made huge progress over the last couple of weeks. Ever since the retreat, it seems like they've been growing and growing and growing and growing and growing, and I'm really, really happy to see that that is the case. They also did share a cheeky little kiss at the dinner table, which I thought was really, really beautiful, and I think that was what kind of scared Timothy in a way, because it was the first time that he's really been accepting of Lucinda's love, like, properly since this experiment began. He had to take a minute outside to just sort of calm himself down, and when Lucinda found him, bless him, he was having a little bit of a breakdown. I think that the pressure and the attention of everything is kind of getting to him. I think he is normally a very private person when it comes to relationships, so exposing them in this kind of setting is problematic for him. But I really do think that he has come on leaps and bounds. And I think, I say this week on week on week, even if him and Lucinda do not work out, they are going to have a fantastic friendship. They've made a connection for life. And even if they don't end up as boyfriend, girlfriend, husband, wife, whatever, she is still going to be that emotional support for him. Because she is she's so good at it. She's so kind, caring, warm. She knows exactly what to say, and she does it all at the right times, and that's what I'm seeing from them. I think the experts can see it as well, and that is just so glorious and beautiful to watch. So yeah, that is pretty much the entire dinner party done. So without much further ado, we are going to end it there. So how many episodes have we got left? Well, this was episode, actually I didn't even look, episode 28. Yeah, episode 28, and it ends on episode 38. So we've got roughly 8 more episodes of my reviews left, 10 episodes in total. I'm expecting fireworks. Not all of these couples are going to survive, surely. Surely. And those reunions are going to be juicy. So I'm excited to watch them. But without much further ado, thank you guys very, very much for watching. I hope you guys have enjoyed watching today. Make sure to like, comment, and subscribe. Do all of that YouTube stuff that you guys do so well. And I will see you guys in the next episode, whenever that may be. But until then, keep on ranting, and I'll see you later. Bye now.